files and, you know, getting them off the goddamn internet, but we have to do it in a way where actual shit happens. That's what I advocate. Hunter Hancock, 2024. Get the pedophiles off the street. Any president would, wouldn't it? That was their tagline, get the pedophiles off the street. How could you argue against that? Oh, so my tagline's not good enough? But thankfully, you know, a lot of these people are still being exposed, and there is some good to it. I'm not gonna say it's all negative, but it is something interesting that's happening right now. I mean, the 17-count lawsuit thing is just happening right now. It's pretty crazy, and I thought that it was something interesting to bring up because pedophiles suck. Controversial opinion. Pedophiles suck, and you want these things to be able to happen, but we have to go in the right ways about it. I feel like people mix the entertainment with the justice side. They both can't exist in harmony. The only person that could probably do it is like Mr. Beast, because he gives back, right? Beast Hunting, new game show. Especially Jimmy's like all buff now. He goes down and like tackles and like beats people to death with a baseball bat or something. That'd be, I mean, you know, why not? While this content is extremely entertaining and it has been for 20 plus years over the various sources, I think we can all agree that the right things need to happen to make sure that justice is properly served. We need to do it the right way. And with that, that's all I got for you today. I appreciate you watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
No, I'm actually looking for a black guy to eat ass today.
Well, nigga, let's do it. We outside. Bing bong, motherfucker. We outside. Eat this ass all day, nigga. Hello, we outside. Stop playing with the kid.
Stop, bro.
What?
George Floyd?
George Floyd.
Let's
The
take
nigga
over.
dead.
Oh, I thought it was.
No hope of making money. But you remember that YouTube video I filmed of you? Thousands of people seen it, tens of thousands. And I know you're embarrassed, but they love you because you gave birth to me. And I know this won't make too much sense to you, but 4.5 million people have watched my videos.
What do you think about him being on that that internet, that YouTube?
That's my son.
You think he's crazy?
As long as they don't eat dudes, I'm happy with him.
Do you think he's crazy?
If he can to me,
Yeah.
then he's crazy.
There's a lot to dissect with this Boogie video today because I am just absolutely perplexed as to what is going on. So essentially this video is breaking down 3 different videos that are centered around his grandmother. And not his grandmother, his mom. And you're probably wondering, who cares? And that's a valid point. The reason I care is for some reason Boogie decided to upload a video a couple days ago that was filmed and uploaded to Storyfire. If you don't know what Storyfire is, it's basically the scam run by McJuggernuggets, who was Boogie's friend, and it essentially was supposed to be this platform that was a subscription-based service that people could buy videos into, and you're supposed to get. They eventually turned it into like a coin system. It was a whole mess. It's bankrupt. It's defunct now. It doesn't exist. But a lot of creators went over there and uploaded exclusive videos for people to watch. And Boogie made this video where he goes to visit his mother's crypt. And for whatever reason, he thought, yeah, this is a real good one to go put up on Storyfire. That's gonna make all my fans run and go get it. It was uploaded in 2019, and for some reason, he thought 4 years later, yeah, now's the time to upload it. We'll get more into it later. This introductory clip is just emblematic of how Boogie has not changed at all. He's bragging to his cremated mother inside of her crypt that, hey mom, your video got thousands of views and I'm a big shot on YouTube. I'm so cool. And it's funny because a lot of people who haven't tuned into Boogie until recently really missed the arc of where money just absolutely devastated this guy. Made him think he was the shit. Made him think he was so much better than everybody. And he's gonna use his own dead mother for clout. How embarrassing.
That's been rained on for 10 years because there's no roof.
You haven't been there in 10 years. You don't know what it's like. I'm sure everything's fine.
There's a house when you call it overgrowth in Hudson. That's what 10 years of overgrowth looks like.
Where's the, like, way in?
Well, the stairs are right, right here.
You're kidding me.
No, I don't. There's a ramp on built. But those stairs are literally right.
Where's the, is this the front door?
There's the ramp. And that's the front door.
So they're literally giving us the fluoride stare right off the bat. Oh my god, let's have a completely normal conversation between each other. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my god, this house that you haven't taken care of for 10 years in the middle of the mountains in West Virginia, you think that is going to be standing still? I hear the roof collapsed. That's crazy. I guess we should go there. I mean, I don't know how Boogie thinks that videos like this would pass of him being genuine. That's what all of his content is now. None of it is genuine. It's all scripted nonsense garbage. And he tries to pass it off as, oh man, this is so spooky. This is so scary. I'm so disturbed being back at my childhood home. No, he's not. He doesn't care. He's like, can I get back to my 5-star hotel real quick? I need to down a couple glasses of fluoride so I can give you that stare. Really just pierce you into the soul of your heart. And of course you got McJarna that's just giving the worst commentary. And I don't know how people were deceived by this guy for the longest time. I never watch any of his content, but just listening to him, I feel like you can pick up on whether or not somebody is a bad person just by like the tonal shift of their voice. He just sounds like a con artist anytime that he talks because he's very obviously trying to deceive you and make it seem like, ooh, it's so scary being here.
You live in this house?
A little bit nice.
You got a weird taste in houses, bro.
I didn't pick these houses. My grandfather built this house.
Watch it, man.
Watch for copperheads, Jesse. They don't bite. And we're going right to an emergency room when they do.
What are they, poisonous?
Yes, copperhead is poisonous.
Dude, these are mirror shards shoved in a... This is like something I'd film on my channel, bro.
I know.
What is this? It's somebody's degree? Wanda Williams, dude.
That's my mom's teaching degree. And look at over here, Jesse. There is someone's come in here and destroyed all of this. They destroyed these. They destroyed my mom's Teacher of the Year award.
How do you know somebody's not here right now?
Well, they are. They're getting ready to get the ass of me.
So this whole thing is just so stupid. But yeah, you think they're genuinely scared walking through. And what a great piece of commentary. Oh, what a good taste. Hey, poor idiot who lived in the mountains. Nice choice of house when you were getting cigarettes burnt out on you and having parents that were complete degenerates who didn't care about you. Yeah, that'll show them. That's real good. And Boogie's like, look out for copperheads. As a native specialist who definitely goes outside all the time and is well equipped to be able to handle a copperhead bite, look out for them because they're coming. They're gonna bite you, and we're gonna take you straight to the hospital. And I'm half surprised that they didn't stage a fake snake bite during this video. I'm half surprised. What I'm not too surprised about is it feels like a lot of this is slightly staged. Now, the condition of the house and the overall askewness of it doesn't surprise me. Some of these little details do surprise me. The glass shards directly in the entrance as soon as you turn right are sticking out right there. I mean, I'm not invalidating the possibility of a hillbilly meth addict coming in here and just doing complete mayhem. But you're telling me that somebody came in here, broke a mirror, broke some glass, picked it up with their bare hands, and then chucked it or stabbed it into the wall, and there's no blood that they found in the entire house. Maybe it got washed away in a typhoon. Maybe I wasn't considering that. I just think that a lot of these little knickknacks that they'll pull out and they'll point to are things that they probably went inside before the cameras turned on, moved some stuff around so that it will make for a more interesting video, and then sure enough, they come back in and it's like, wowzers, because even Boogie points out, he's like, look at all these awards that my mom had on the ground. What a coincidence that they're just laying right there in the opening room. Give me a break.
Some of her own clothes.
What are you thinking right now, boy?
I'm mad.
You're just frustrated. It's like it.
I'm mad at hell at myself for letting this happen. This house could have went for somebody. This house could have closed somebody, fed somebody. There could have been value made out of this house. Someone could have lived in this house. They could have had a home in this house. Instead, I left it like a fucking idiot. And hateful neighborhood kids. Hillbillies, God knows what else. Have come here to destroy it for no good reason.
Yeah, some hobos came here for no damn reason to destroy the house. In case you didn't know, Boogie, any house that you would leave completely untouched by human content for 10 years would be pretty close to turning into this. Not to mention a house that's built. Did you see the way that they came down? There's a road at the top and then a gully that leads to the house. Any rain would devastate this house, and it's no surprise that it did. And but he wants to be the philanthropist too. Guys, I could have done so much better. I could have given this to somebody and they could have had a family here. What? What are you talking about? There's like 4 rooms in this entire house. It's in the top of the mountains in the middle of nowhere. And of course he has to bring up, I could have gotten some money out of this. I could have sold this for something. It's like, yeah, there are a million things you could have done. When it was given to you, you could have sold it basically immediately. Hey, the will lawyer comes up to you and says, congrats, Boogie, you own this house. And Boogie could say, nah, that house has too much trauma for me. We're just gonna sell it. Call a realtor and we're done. And then he would never have to come back and he'd never have to make this video. But of course, for somebody that is so afflicted by trauma, so devastated, it completely has wrecked his entire life, yet he made a 4-part series basically reliving the entire trauma of when his mom died and going through all the artifacts related to where he grew up and now his house and eventually where his mom was laid to rest. And I'm supposed to sit over here and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Boogie's just been going through it rough. He just can't cope with it. And he uses it as an excuse today. My childhood was so messed up. That's why I'm such a horrible person. It's like, it doesn't affect you. We see it in this video. You don't care at all. It's pathetic.
I filmed her in that kitchen. You can find that video on YouTube. I might put a clip of it up. And I sat in this house and told her everything, told her my plans for YouTube and how I hoped it could be a job one day and how I was gonna get partner. And she could have never known. I was on disability and she died thinking I was a failure.
I don't know his mom. I don't know the circumstances, but in that short clip of what he recorded her in 2009, right before she died, it seemed like she reminds me of my immigrant grandparents who were stern and harsh and not very easily giving of compliments, but deep down you knew that they were really proud of you for all the things you've accomplished. That's sort of what I got, and I can't analyze it from a 40-second clip that he uploaded 14 years ago. All right, I'm not gonna make that jump. I'm just saying that's my evaluation. And of course, Boogie, he just has to humble brag throughout this entire video. Ooh, she wouldn't know that I was so successful now. Have you guys heard of Bitcoin? Oh yeah, I made so much money off of Bitcoin. And then I sold it all, and then I bought some back, and then I lost all my money. and now I'm a poor degenerate who has to date 13-year-olds because that's the only way I can get clout anymore. That's the only way I can break the 10,000 view mark, is if I put my scantily clad 18-year-old girlfriend who definitely is into me into the thumbnail. Yeah, I'm sure your mom's looking down on you very favorably. I'm sure you don't have anything in your life to completely transform. That would just be ridiculous.
All right, Wanda Faye. Come here. Jesus.
I want you guys to examine these clips I'm about to show you, and you tell me, does this seem like acting? Does this seem like Boogie's putting on a show for everybody to try and make it seem like the woman that he painted as being basically the bearer of why he is so distraught and horrible today, why she was the penultimate reason that he is just so dejected all the time and so sad, that he's actually really sympathetic and feels for her a lot and cries for her and shows up at her crib 10 years later. 10 years later. He probably found some food challenge in town and he's like, damn, you know, I guess I'll show up there, and while I'm at it, I might as well clickbait my dead family for views. Why not? Let's just go for it. Boogie, it's quite pathetic, and everybody who's not a complete and total moron can see through your facade and see that this is all a scam and all a sham and all a scram. Get out of here. Figure it out, dude.
Found her?
So let's put flowers on there. So let's put flowers on there.
Where is she?
Right here. Carl Privet.
Oh, that's her.
Malcolm Ray Privet. Yeah, her name's not on it.
What do you mean her name's not on it?
Her name's not on it.
How does that work?
Well, these are built for two, right? So when you pay for the crypt, you get two.
Oh, a name above and a name below.
But they made an exception for Mom, and they put her in here with my grandma and my dad Paul.
So she's third?
So she's the third.
So my assumption is she got buried here because they probably couldn't afford it in 2009 to put her in some other cemetery. Even though he mentions later on that I guess his dad was like a veteran and was buried in some military, you know, cemetery. And I'm pretty sure that they could have gotten a plot for her to be next to him. Instead, Boogie's like, yeah, let's just shove her inside with my dead aunt and dead uncle. Who cares? That's the quicker way. Let me just clean off my hands real quick and we'll just move right on. No big deal. No big shame. And then he's talking about the flowers. I think there's two possibilities. Now, I have been to crypts that are like this, and depending on, you can pay in advance for them to basically replace the flowers like every month or every other month. And I also think it's a possibility that Boogie paid them prior to him showing up and said, hey, can you put these flowers here? They're like, who the hell are you? Nobody's ever put flowers up for this person before. It's either that, or maybe he has some relatives that he doesn't stay in touch with who visit this crypt frequently. Maybe they still live in the area. Either way, it's all scam. It's all set up. Yeah, this is genuine. Yeah, we're showing up for the first time. We snuck inside the crypt, and losers, there's flowers there. Who could have seen that coming? That's just such a 1 in 1 million quinkydink.
Calling somebody. It's okay. Bear with me, all right? I know, this is an important call, but... Hey, Bubba, I'm sure you're sleeping. You want to call and ask if I remember, I'm in Big Stone Gap, Cal Valley Memorial Grounds, and I'm here at Mom's grave. And you told me you would, you paid the $300 to get Mom's name put on the thing. It's been about 10 years. Time to get it done, okay? I love you, but it's an embarrassment that her name ain't on here. She deserves a lot of things, but she didn't deserve an unmarked grave, Bubba, okay? I love you. Get it done.
Isn't it funny? The multimillionaire, the guy who is filthy rich, has not thought of his mother once in the last 10 years until he realized that he can make content out of it. He decides, you know what, I'm gonna call my estranged brother, who probably works a back-breaking 9-to-5 job. I'm gonna call him and say, hey buddy, I know you said when we were both poor that you're gonna pay to get this nameplate done. I'm gonna call you guys 10 years later when I'm a multi-millionaire who does YouTube videos, who had his fans pay for his surgery to get weight loss surgery, and also I'm basically hand in hand with a scammer who is siphoning money from this website that I'm currently uploading on. I'm gonna have you pay for the placard. If this was such a big deal to you, Boogie, you would pull out the $300 right now and get it done. But no, you're gonna guilt trip your brother who has as little of care for his mother as you did. You were both tortured, as you basically said, by your parents your entire life, and he never got it done. But no, I'm gonna guilt trip him because I'm superior. I'm Boogie. I'm gonna hold him accountable. Yeah, okay, Boogie. You're gonna hold somebody accountable. That's rich.
Every month, at the beginning of every month, and she would pull the old flowers down and throw them away. And she would put up brand new flowers for her mom. That's called because she loved them so much. And this is the only place in the world she wanted to be. Was right there. And by God, now she is. Yeah. Last time I sat in this chair, in this room, that's the day we buried her on October 8th, 9th, 2009. Almost 10 years ago today.
Yeah, he's so distraught. He had to close Flappy Bird from his phone real quick before McJuggernuggets panned too quickly to him sitting there. He just had to get rid of that. Hold on, let me close that app. Let me turn that off real quick. And yeah, she died like October 10th or 9th or 12th. Who really knows? I didn't really care about her, but I'm gonna use her reviews. And the funny part about all of this is that Boogie decides, hey, it's 4 years later. I'm gonna post this video. Not during the month that she died, not the month that I even went there in 2019. Nah, I'm just gonna post it in September, probably because I didn't have any content to upload. So I'm just gonna take a backlog video and see if people feel bad for me. God, he's such a piece of shit.
At a convention that I was headlining, and people stood in line to shake my hand. And Mom, people said,
Oh, we're about to get very frustrated in this video. You ready? Hey Spuds, it's Jamie. Welcome back to another video, Fast Video channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. My glasses are very dirty today. Not good. Today, we are going through the subreddit again of confidently incorrect. So this is basically where people are very self-assured. They're very arrogant. They're very confident in what they're saying, but they are in fact wrong. And this could be about a whole host of different things. Geography, language, maths, LGBT plus topics. Yay. So let's have a look at it, shall we? Are you ready? Wales is part of the British island, but they themselves are not British. They are their own country, part of the United Kingdom. What? That doesn't make sense. The two bits of that sentence also don't make sense. Wales is part of Great Britain, and therefore Welsh people are Welsh, but they're also British. Mate, a strong argument could be made that the Welsh are the only British people. I'm Scottish, and if you go back far enough, my ancestors were probably speaking Welsh. Titan boa, the biggest reptile ever that lived during the age of dinosaurs. Holy crapoly. Look at the size of that snake. Oh my god. Look at the scale of the humans next to the snake. To you, that snake sees you the same way we would see a mouse. Just a little snack. I don't eat mice. I'm just saying, if I did, very small.
Very small little snack.
And that is what we are to a Titan boa. Titan boa was a snake, not a reptile. Oh yes, completely incorrect. I forgot what video I was making then. Dinosaurs didn't exist. Go read the Bible instead of making a fool of yourself. Snakes are reptiles. Dinosaurs did exist. There's significantly more evidence that dinosaurs existed than anything in the Bible being true, or a lot of the Bible. No, personally, cannot fathom the concept of believing that an entire human being was made from a spare rib, but no, cannot possibly stretch as far as believing that dinosaurs were real, you know, the things where there are countless fossils of them. She may technically be correct if they never constipated the marriage. In some jurisdictions, a marriage isn't complete until that happens. Constipated. Constipated. That is one of the best word mess-ups I've ever heard. If they didn't constipate the marriage. It means intercourse after the wedding. Even if you had intercourse before you got married, many jurisdictions still have an odd law in the books as if they're just going to describe what the word they meant means, not recognizing that the word they mean is not constipated.
Is your marriage constipated?
Here's some laxatives. Do you know what Trinity means? It basically means a solid group of people. A group of people that's solid. Yeah, they're not gases, they're not liquids, they're solid. It means three. Yeah, Trinity, tricycle, three. It could mean three. It could also mean 4, 5, 6. Something triplets could mean 3 babies. Could also mean 4, 5, or 6. Or more. Just a solid number of babies. You're being sarcastic, right? The prefix try means 3. Not always does the try in the word field trip mean you are going on 3 field trips. Don't always believe prefixes. Wait until they see trans and cis. I don't think they're gonna like them. Just because it's the same 3 letters does not mean that in every context it's used. It's a prefix. It does feel satirical though, because the field trips example is so out there. No, trip means I pee 3 times. You're the one who's different. I'm normal. What? It's actually not an accent. The American is right. The neutral American accent is the original accent of the English language. So that is correct in this case. The American is normal. No. Isn't like America as we know relatively new? Okay, let's Google this though. Is the American accent the neutral accent of the English language? Is the American accent the true English accent? There was never a single true original English accent. It's an interesting thing to want to claim, especially because there's like British English, as in like people in England, like Britain as a whole, but then like also England and English, and there's American English. They are different. They have their differences. South Africa is a continent, bruh, not a country. Now this one I don't need to Google. Are you sure about that? Yeah, are you sure? Are you sure? Have a good think. A good that maybe just Google. Of course I'm sure, since he doesn't know whether it's a country or not. But if you're not sure, I'm going through a subreddit of confidently incorrect. I don't know if absolutely everything is being called incorrect is incorrect. I will Google it. I will have a look, and if I'm still not sure, I'm not gonna be like,
Actually, no, my belief trumps Google or my not being sure, so I'm just gonna go with what I think.
if you say a statement, if you say South Africa is a continent, not a country, and somebody says, are you sure about that? You know, it might be a country and not a continent. I just feel like it's really typical to then just Google. Even if you're really sure, just Google, is South Africa a country or a continent? And then you will have your answer. Rather than doubling down when you clearly don't know. The standing starting disclaimer sentence you have to put onto everything with your opinion to wave off snowflakes. What? The standard starting disclaimer sentence you have to put onto everything with your opinion to wave off snowflakes. This just feels like the
Everything I say, I have to start with, it's just a joke, don't get offended. But the snowflakes, they still cry.
there is definitely a lot of work and improvements needed in the game. That's why it's a beta, not even an alpha, and definitely not a AAA title. Alpha is the stage before beta, because it goes the alpha, beta, and then we carry on. I don't know it personally. Also, apparently respecting other people's opinions makes you a snowflake now. They're wrong on multiple accounts. Okay, definition of alpha. A very quick Google of alpha stage of a game compared to beta stage, because they're clearly talking about games here. Alpha is basically the rough draft of your game. Probably a lot of bugs, parts you maybe forgot to anchor, stuff like that. Beta is a more polished draft of your game. You probably fixed those bugs and anchored those parts by this stage. It's why the whole thing of people going, oh,
alpha male superiority, alphas are the best, alpha.
Just because it's the first letter, like technically you're just saying you're the first draft of a man. You are the buggy, needs a lot of work, problematic stage of man. If you try to say,
I'm an alpha man.
Betas are more polished, more refined, less buggy.
Hello, I'm interrupting for a very, very good reason. It's because I want you to say hello to Baby Pud. He's very cute. He has a little trans egg. He's yellow. Tiny Pud is available to buy until July 3rd this year. He is a limited edition. So if you do want one, go click the link in the description box or the pinned comment and head over to Makeship. And 10% of all sales of Little Pud are going to the Trevor Project, an amazing LGBTQ+ charity. I will now let you get back to the video. Thank you.
He is Scottish, not British. Oh, another one. You do realise Scotland is in Britain. Ready doesn't know geography. Don't tell him that. He gets offended by being called British, and that's not even true, LMAO. Stop embarrassing yourself. I don't know who they're talking about, but I think this is a misunderstanding of people, including people who live in Britain, that you can be both, like, English and British, Scottish and British, Welsh and British. Often, when doing, like, forms about, like, where you're from and, like, citizenship and things like that, it's British or United Kingdom that comes up. Very rarely is it like England, Scotland, Wales. So my family is Scottish, my heritage is Scottish. Both my parents were born there, my grandparents were there and everything. I mean, as far as I'm aware. But we're also British. Like, when I fill out forms and stuff, I'm not like Scottish, it's British. The book is called The Song of Ice and Fire. Game of Thrones isn't a book, you OnlyFans. Why are they insulting somebody over, like, a disagreement about a book? I have the first 4 books in the series, and the first one is A Game of Thrones, and then there's one that's like A Feast of Crows, or 4 Crows, I can't remember off the top of my head. Like, they're not called The Song of Ice and Fire. There is no book called The Song of Ice and Fire. The book series collectively is entitled A Song of Ice and Fire, not but there is no book that shares this title. The first book within the series is entitled A Game of Thrones. Good job proving that you also did not read the books. How you managed to get so much wrong and still hurl an insult is beyond me. It's just embarrassing at this point. How much do you think a person should be ideally saving out of a monthly paycheck? Enough to take a class to learn how to spell right. It is paycheck. A paycheck, also spelled paycheck, or paycheck. That's funny to say verbally. It's traditionally a paper document, a check. I mean, I think I just say payslip or something, but I've always spelled check, CHEQUE. So I would assume that that was a correct spelling of it. See, technically, confidently arrogant, like, in thinking that their way is the only right way, but they're technically not wrong. They're mean and they've been rude, but they also spelt it correctly. It's just there's multiple spellings, but could have been nicer about it. Hashtag Assassin's Creed Odyssey lets you be as gay as you want. That sounds fun. This takes place in ancient Greece, right? The Greeks followed religious doctrine, so they would kill somebody for being gay. Therefore, if this series, which prides itself in its historical realism, apart from characters having an impact, is gonna add this, it's wrong. Lol, you think ancient Greece wasn't gay? I know ancient Greece followed Christianity. It was really really gay, right? Like all the artwork is really gay, and they were really gay, and there's lots of gay stuff happening in ancient Greece. And also, I know they all like prided itself on its historical realism. Even if it wasn't gay, why can't we add in a little bit of gay? Doesn't need to be that realistic. But also, ancient Greece was very gay. It will be roughly 800 years till another month has 5 Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays in it. That sounds like a really, really long time for something not that special. March 2020, just 3 months from now, we'll have 5 each of Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, as will August 2021. It happens every time a month with 31 days starts on a Sunday. December will start on a Sunday in 2024, and we'll have 5 Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. Oh, we have one to look forward to this year. We don't all have to live to be nearly 1,000 to see that. Exactly. The fact they are all called theories means there are no facts to back them up. The theory of evolution, the Big Bang Theory, etc. What? Okay. I mean, that's wrong on the end. There can be a lot of evidence for theories. I wonder if they've gotten confused between the concept of a theory and a hypothesis, because a hypothesis is something to test and like gather evidence for, although often we do that multiple times with the same or very similar hypotheses. But a theory, like evolution has evidence, Big Bang has evidence. Isn't it like Pythagoras' theorem or something? Gravity is a theory. There's evidence for gravity. The jump and you'll see it. I've been taking unpasteurized milk all my life. Taking unpasteurized like it's a medicine. Never had food poisoning. I boil. You boil the milk and use within 24 hours after it's taken from the cow. I don't take it raw, by the way. Isn't unpasteurized milk raw milk? How to pasteurize milk? Pasteurization is heating milk, no? Or it's at least doing some of what you need to do to pasteurize it. Because I thought like unpasteurized milk would be raw. I'm so confused because unpasteurized milk is raw milk, but they're saying they don't take the milk raw, so they don't have pasteurized milk, and they boil it. And I think that's not fully pasteurization, but it's at least a good chunk of it. So it's like Schrodinger's milk. It's neither pasteurized nor unpasteurized. Although I guess maybe you could consider it pasteurized if it's been boiled for long enough. I don't know. You are not having milk in its purest form, okay? It needs to be raw, straight out of the udder, covered in cow poo. Oh, you're not doing it right. That just sounds disgusting. And yet they cannot forecast the weather for next week. So why don't I believe the doomsters? Weather and climate are different. When an MFer doesn't know the difference between weather and climate, lol, there is no real difference. Climate is just weather writ large. Weather's like short term, right? Transient, whereas climate is a more long term, what the climate of a country is like, blah, 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 like general trends and patterns. There is a difference. The sun used to be orange all the time when I was younger. Now it's suddenly changed to white. This proves that physics is wrong. How? When was the sun ever orange? The sun is different colors like depending on the time of day, right? Like it can be more orangey, can glow. But really, we shouldn't be looking at the sun in the sky long enough to gather a real sense of what color it is. It's just bright. That's the color of the sun, bright. I'm a Gen Xer and everyone my age remembers the sun being orange all day. About 15 years ago, the sun turned white. Now, I was a teenager 15 years ago. I don't remember this. I feel like this would have made the news. As kids, we drew the sun using an orange crayon. It was always yellow. Sunshine yellow. It's not sunshine orange. I even asked my husband, who is the same age as me, what color the sun used to be, and he said it's orange. When you see those close-up images of the sun, it's like orangey and very, very hot looking. The LED fake sun we see now is blinding to look at, whereas the original sun wasn't. This is very nice.
Back in my day, you could stare right at the sun and your eyes would be fine. Now it blinds you. There's something wrong.
So weird. I don't know how scientists have replaced the sun. They haven't. But the sun we're seeing now isn't real, and I hate how young people are acting like it's normal. We've lived in the same rural area of England since we were born. It's not pollution. The color of the sun has changed from orange to white. I even asked on TikTok what color the sun used to be, and everyone said it used to be orange. Each country has its own separate sun. What context does that bear on the rest of the paragraph? That is so wrong. All of this is very bizarre, and then just putting that at the end destroyed any... I mean, not that this really had a hope of credibility in the first place, but it was like building up. It was like,
I've seen it. My husband's seen it. TikTok has seen it. Every sun has a different planet.
Every sun has... Oh, it's getting to me. Every planet has every planet.
Every country
has its own sun. Just because there are different words for sun in different languages doesn't mean there are different suns. They were so incredibly confident on that. Do you even know what gay or trans is? Gay simply means XY, being without the hormones of a male. Transgender is someone who doesn't feel fit in their current body. Being trans is haram, not gay. I'm so confused by this. Why did I do this subreddit? I hate it. See, the trans description is like, it's not a quite right description, and there's nothing wrong with being trans. That is a very wrong part of this statement. But it's not as wrong as the description of being gay. Gay simply means that XY, like chromosomes, being without the hormones of a male. So being gay is not having testosterone. In their viewpoint, I feel like they would only be talking about cis men, and gay cis men are just men without testosterone. Gotta remember, the game basically just came out early access. More gear is most likely on the way in future updates. 2. Hard to trust someone who doesn't know 3rd grade English. They use 2 correctly. And I have googled this to make sure I'm saying it correctly. You know the context of when to use things, but you can't really vocalize exactly what it means. 2 with 2 O's is used in replace of things like as well as or additionally. It's an adverb. 2 with 1 O means towards, or that indicate a directional thing. The OP is used the 2 correctly, and then the correction is incorrect. And then just insulting. Hard to trust someone who doesn't know 3rd grade English. Well, I guess we shouldn't trust you then. Deaths of children under 1 year in Chihuahua, Mexico, 947. Links to death stats for the state of Chihuahua, Mexico. Oh yeah, for someone who said a Cocker Spaniel couldn't kill a child, Chihuahuas have 1,000 deaths in 2015 for children. Link to tiny dogs killing children. You couldn't be that naive, could you? And they've linked to a place called Chihuahua in Mexico. Brilliant. There is a definition of the word death under here. Death, permanent disappearance of all evidence of life at some time after live birth. Suspension of vital functions after birth without the possibility of resurrecting. I've never thought of death as a word to be defined. It's always felt so philosophical in its meaning, and to read it having a solid definition. Obviously it has one, but it was just weird. It feels bizarre. Burglarize, that's not a word. Yes, it is. Oh, someone replied with the dictionary definition. Burglarize. Past tense, burglarized. Enter a building illegally with intent to commit a crime, especially theft. In America it's a word, but in proper British English it is not a word. Did they just double down and be like,
fine, it's just Americans then?
That still means it's a word. Just because it's a different language, or it's a different spelling, or it's a different part of the world that speaks the same language but in a slightly different way, doesn't mean it's not a real word. Wait, 3:15 isn't 3:25? But 25 is a quarter. Oh, babe, somebody missed the lesson on fractions. It is not always just out of 100, and then there's also not 100 minutes, so obviously 3:15 isn't 3:15, it would be 3:25. I can't tell if you're joking. I'm not. A quarter is 25, that's why a quarter is 25 cents. That's because we deal with currency by the 100, so there's 100 cents in a dollar, 100 pennies in a pound kind of vibe. So that's why quarter being 25 is a quarter of a dollar. If $1 were made up of 60 cents, then a quarter would be 15 cents because it's a quarter of the whole. But it's not just a quarter of 100. So you can have a quarter of 3. You can have a quarter of 10. You can have a quarter of 25. It's not always 100. I think this person's just obviously gotten stuck on the idea that it's always out of 100. My mathematical capability may not be that great, but even I can say quite confidently that 2% of the UK population does not equate to 1 in 50. You double it, you double both, so you've got 2 in 100. 2%. Ta-da! Why is the community so divided like this? I'll never understand why people are like this. Aren't gay folks supposed to accept everyone? Why are trans being excluded? Makes no sense to me why there's transphobia within the LGBT plus community. Very simple. LGB aren't involved with the debate over sexuality. Excuse me. I think that's very offensive to the LGBT plus people. I mean, they're dropping the T here, who had to, to fight for rights because they weren't straight. They are fine with the sex they were born with. If they're cis, they wanted their relationships recognized and legalized. That's the difference. Not everyone wants to be involved, and you can't force them. LMFAO, LGB aren't about sexuality, lol. What? That is just, no, my brain is too fried to carry on tonight. That was too much. Too much. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought down below. And also, have you ever been confidently incorrect about something later to learn that you were perhaps indeed incorrect? I used to pronounce the word perhaps, and I thought that's how it was spelled. And then I googled and realized I was wrong. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Think about giving a thumbs up and subscribing if you want to, but no pressure. And as always, I will see you next time. Much love. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, once again from the dystopian capitalist monarchy of the United Kingdom, and today we are doing a kind of, I guess, like a follow-up video of my videos about either like